Hey guys, how y'all doing? So today I am filming my March wrap up. I read 8 books this month, which is pretty good. I am like on a roll this year, guys. Like, I am reading so many books. Pretty much loved every single book that I read this month except for one. So it's a pretty good month. So I'm really excited to talk about all of these with you guys. So let's just get started. I'm going to kind of talk about the first two together just to kind of speed things up. So I reread Wires and Nerves Volume 1 by Marissa Meyer, art is by Doug Holgate. I read the new release of Wires and Nerve Volume 2 Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer, and the art is by Stephen Gilpin. So I reread this one and I really loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I didn't remember a lot that had happened in this, so it was basically like reading it for the first time all over again. And then I read this one, which is the sequel that just came out this year. I think it came out in January. It was so good. It was better than the first volume, so intense, so many things happened, and the whole time I was so worried for my characters, thinking that they wouldn't make it through, but knowing that they did, because I think these kind of take place before some things in Stars Above, which is the novella collection. So like, I knew my characters were going to be okay. It didn't mean I wasn't worried for them regardless. These were both really amazing, and I gave both of these a 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend them if you guys love the Lunar Chronicles series. They're like must reads. And probably the book that I'm most excited to talk about in this wrap-up is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This was a reread for me this month, and I reread it for 2 reasons. One, because Love, Simon, the movie adaptation came out this month, which I've already seen twice, and I really want to go see it again, and I might see it again tomorrow. I have problems, and apparently I just love spending my money, so. And then the other reason I reread it is because me, Peyton, and Julia decided to host a book club called Read and Watch, where we read a book and then watch the adaptation and do a live show of it. And our live show for this book is actually going to be tomorrow, so it will already be up by the time this video is posted. So I will try and remember to leave a link down below so you guys can go watch our live show. But I absolutely adored this book. I adored it so much more the second time, and I actually listened to it as an audiobook. And what I really enjoyed about rereading it is I already knew who Blue was. It was really interesting to kind of pick up on all of the clues and such that I had missed the first time around. And let me tell you, there are so many clues that I missed. So good. It was really good. Actually, I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars, and I am currently obsessed with everything Love, Simon and Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and oh my god. Then the next book that I read, also a really good one, is Restore Me by Tahera Mafi. So this is the 4th book in the Shadow Me series, and it just came out March 6th, and I read it right away. I think I bought it, yeah, I bought it on release day, and I started reading it on release day. I didn't love it as much as I had hoped to love it. It's not my favorite in the series by any means. Ignite Me still holds that place. It was still a really enjoyable book. I think it was just more chilled out than I thought it was going to be. For some reason I was just expecting like all out war and like all this like crazy crap happening, but it was really just like chill and not much happened. So this book I think was very much so character driven, because going into this you already know all the characters, you already love the characters, so you're just like following them around, but like plot wise not much happened. I really enjoyed getting Warner's point of view in this book, because we had Juliet and Warner kind of going back and forth between their point of views, and I really enjoyed that. Once I hit the halfway point in this book, I was completely invested in the story and what was happening, and it definitely picked up halfway through, and oh my god, that ending was I can't say anything about the ending, but it was so intense and huge cliffhanger, and oh my god, I need the next book so badly. If you loved the Shadow Me trilogy, I do recommend continuing on with this book. Just don't go into it with like super high expectations like I did, expecting like boom boom pow from the very beginning. Like, don't expect for it to be really action-packed. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then this isn't really a novel, but I read Very Good Lives by J.K. Rowling, and this is her speech that she gave to Harvard like a long time ago, and I was just like feeling in the mood to be empowered, and I thought that she would like really inspire me by reading this. This is a reread for me. I've already read it. I read it when it first came out, but I just find J.K. Rowling to be so inspiring and so empowering, and also just reading this as like a book as opposed to just listening to it, I really enjoyed, because it has like illustrations, and I grabbed some of my favorite parts, and I mean, it was just like a little book. I'm not going to give it a star rating because it's not really a book, so this one don't get a star rating, but I really enjoyed reading it, and it kind of just, I don't know, it empowered me a little bit. And the next book that I read was Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I was expecting to absolutely adore this book, and I just didn't. This is the only book that fell flat for me, and that was boring. I mean, I read it in one day. I read it in pretty much one sitting, but like, it's short, so I kind of expected that. It was just extremely boring, and I felt like nothing happened, and I just didn't really like the writing, and I don't know, it wasn't what I was wanting it to be, I guess. I'll just stick with the Disney film. So I gave this one a 2 out of 5 stars. And because I have a problem, 7th book I read this month, you're probably like, Brittany, didn't you just show that book a couple books ago? Didn't you just say you reread it? Yeah. Yeah, I did. But, I reread it again. Because I just kept thinking about the movie, and I was like, oh my god, the movie was so good, and I was like, yeah, it's amazing. I wanted to just read the ending to kind of compare it to the movie, because I couldn't remember exactly how it ended, because I've got a crap memory. I had to read it, and then I started to like really want to reread it from the beginning, so I just did it. Yeah, and I annotated it. So we've got some markings in here, and yeah, so I read this book twice this month, and I would be lying if I said that I didn't want to reread it again. But I won't let myself, because I have other books that I need to read. This book is taking over my life right now, so is the movie, and Keenan Lonsdale, who plays Bram, and I just... Keenan Lonsdale's my life at the moment, guys. No. And the last book that I read this month was another reread, and that was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. So after Simon, I want to get into like a book hangover from a book. So I knew that I needed a book that would make me swoon and make me fangirl and make me feel all the feels just like Simon did. I went to Fangirl because Kath and Levi are freaking adorable, and I just knew that it would make me feel all the things, and it totally did. So I reread it and I tabbed it. I reread this book. I always thought that I would enjoy the Simon and Baz parts more, because there's like snippets, and sometimes she reads the story out loud to Levi, and I thought that I would enjoy those parts more the second time around, because I've read Carry On, I'm invested in Simon and Baz's lives, I love that book. I didn't enjoy the parts in this book, and I think it's because I don't care about Simon and Baz in this book. I just want Kath and Levi, and I didn't care. And that's unfortunate, so I skipped all the snippets, and I skimmed over the parts where she read to Levi. And it's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. I had forgotten a lot of things that happened in this book, like all like the little things. Like I knew kind of like the bigger things that happened, but I forgot all like the cute little things. And so reading it almost felt like reading it for the first time, which is always like a magical and great feeling. And also the ending was a bit abrupt, and I don't remember it being that abrupt the first time I read it, but I don't know, it was just really weird, and I would have liked just a bit more at the end. Still a fantastic book, and I still gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because those little things didn't ruin my overall enjoyment of the story. So those were all of the books that I read in the month of March. Thank you guys for watching this video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what books you guys read this month, and also let me know if you guys saw Love, Simon and what you thought of it. No spoilers down below for the people who haven't read it. And hit the subscribe button down below if you have not yet already, and hit the notification bell right beside it so you can be notified every time I post a new video, and I'll see you guys next time.